Did you know there are major organs critical to digesting your food that literally never touch a single bite of it? Welcome, everyone. Let's dive right into this explainer and look at the accessory organs of digestion. We're going to explore some absolutely fascinating anatomy today, and whether you're a student or just someone curious about how your own body works, this is definitely for you. So, here is where it gets interesting right out of the gate. What organs help you digest food but never actually touch it? Most of us just picture digestion as this simple tube. Food goes in one end and out the other. But today, we're focusing on the hidden helpers of digestion. These are vital, massive organs your food never physically passes through, yet without them, digesting your lunch would be completely impossible. Meet those hidden helpers: the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. You can think of these structures as your body's essential chemical factories and supply stations. They sit just off the main highway of your gut, and they're constantly pumping out saliva, bile, and powerful enzymes to keep things moving. This analogy here illustrates the difference perfectly. While your gastrointestinal tract, stuff like your stomach and intestines, is the actual road the food travels on, the accessory organs are essentially off-site manufacturing plants. They secrete absolutely crucial chemicals right into that main road using a highly complex, interconnected plumbing network. Okay, let's map out our spatial journey down the body. We'll start up top with the salivary glands. Then we'll check out the liver, trace the gallbladder and biliary tree, and finally uncover the pancreas. Part 1. Salivary glands. Digestion start. We're beginning our journey right up in the oral cavity. You actually have 3 incredibly intricate pairs of major salivary glands. There's the parotid gland right in front of your ear, the submandibular gland tucked right under your lower jaw, and the sublingual gland sitting beneath your tongue. Together, these guys produce saliva, which is this perfect mixture of water, electrolytes, and specialized enzymes that actually start breaking down your food the exact second it enters your mouth. Now, this part is often totally misunderstood. You actually have hundreds of tiny, minor salivary glands embedded everywhere, in your lips, your cheeks, even the roof of your mouth. But despite heavily outnumbering the major glands, those tiny 1 to 5 millimeter minor glands only produce about 5 to 10% of your saliva. It's those 3 major pairs we just talked about that do 90 to 95% of the heavy lifting. All right, part 2, the liver, the chemical factory. Moving down from the head and right into the abdomen, we meet the absolute, undisputed champion of these hidden helpers. Just to get a true sense of scale here, notice how the liver tucks right up under your diaphragm, taking up most of the upper right quadrant of your abdomen. Weighing in at roughly 1.5 kilograms, that's over 3 pounds, this wedge-shaped powerhouse is split anatomically into a massive right lobe and a noticeably smaller left lobe. Underneath this massive organ is a crucial anatomical landmark called the porta hepatis. Basically, it's a deep fissure acting as the central gateway for vessels and ducts going in and out of the liver. And listen to this. Here is our first major clinical connection. If a patient has severe liver bleeding during surgery, surgeons use a technique called the Pringle maneuver. They literally clamp the vessels right at this exact gateway to stop massive blood loss. No way, right? It's a real game changer in the OR. Notice the very specific arrangement of the porta hepatis. From back to front, it houses the vein, the arteries, and then the ducts. This specific setup means that the hepatic ducts, which sit right up there in the front, are actually the most accessible structures when a surgeon is operating. Part 3. The gallbladder and biliary tree. We are now shifting from the body's main chemical factory to its specialized storage tank. The crucial point to understand here is the gallbladder's actual function. It's this small, pear-shaped sac sitting snugly in a little groove under the right lobe of the liver. Now, the liver works constantly to produce a greenish-yellow digestive fluid called bile. But we don't always need bile, right? So it flows down and gets stored and highly concentrated right here in the gallbladder until you eat a meal that's rich in fats. Let's dive into this plumbing system step by step. Step 1, the liver produces the bile. Step 2, it travels out through the right and left hepatic ducts. Step 3, it moves through the cystic duct to go be stored in the gallbladder. And finally, when you sit down to eat, it flows all the way down the common bile duct into the duodenum, which is that very first part of your small intestine. So this network is the extrahepatic biliary tree. Extrahepatic simply meaning the ducts located outside of the liver itself. You can actually trace that common bile duct as it descends. And as it travels down behind the duodenum, it's getting ready to join forces with our final, deeply hidden accessory organ. Which brings us to part 4, the pancreas, the enzyme powerhouse. If the liver is the chemical factory and the gallbladder is the storage tank, well, the pancreas is our elite digestive enzyme producer. The pancreas is this elongated, soft, kind of lobulated organ, and notice how entirely hidden it is. It sits retroperitoneally, which means it's tucked way in the very back of the upper abdomen, entirely behind the stomach, snuggled securely between the curve of the duodenum on the right side and the spleen on the left. And this brings up an incredibly important, though definitely sobering, clinical point. Tumors or cysts here may grow quite large before they're detectable by palpation. Because the pancreas is buried so deeply behind other major organs, routine physical exams often just can't feel it. A doctor simply cannot palpate it easily, which sadly allows potential issues to grow completely silently in the background. Anatomically, we divide the pancreas into 4 distinct parts. Notice how the widest part on the right, the head, nestles perfectly into that C-shaped curve of the duodenum. From there, it moves into a short neck, a long body that crosses the midline, and finally a tail that tapers right off toward the spleen. Here's where the magic really happens. We've got the biliary plumbing bringing down bile from above, and we have the main pancreatic duct running the entire length of the pancreas, bringing enzymes across. Right at the head of the pancreas, these 2 distinct plumbing systems merge into a brilliant, highly efficient Y-shaped configuration. So how on earth does the body control this flow? Enter the Oddi sphincter. This is a tiny, delicate ring of smooth muscle cells right at that junction. Think of it as a beautifully automated valve. When food arrives in your small intestine, this sphincter relaxes, pumping in the exact required mixture of enzymes and bile. But when your digestive tract is empty, it contracts tightly, sealing the opening so nothing leaks out. Pretty brilliant, right? Part 5, Key Takeaways and Summary. We have covered a lot of incredible anatomy today. Let's quickly zoom out and summarize how the whole shebang works together. The salivary glands kick off chemical digestion before you've even swallowed your food. The liver acts as your massive main chemical factory. The gallbladder serves as your trusty storage tank for bile. The pancreas operates as the ultimate enzyme powerhouse. And connecting all of it is the biliary tree, your essential plumbing network. Remember, your food never actually touches these organs, but through this beautifully coordinated system, they provide the exact chemicals your body needs to extract nutrients and, well, survive. So, I've got a question for you all watching. Which of these accessory organs do you think is the most fascinating? Is it the silent but powerful pancreas, the massive liver factory, or maybe the intricate plumbing of the biliary tree? Drop your answer in the comments below. I absolutely love reading through your thoughts. And hey, if this explainer helped make complex anatomy clear for you, please hit that subscribe button for more simple, structured, and engaging medical explanations. Catch you in the next one.